You probably read the title of this video and are thinking, the frick? And you know what? That's completely fair. But you did not read that incorrectly. I went to and was in a bunny wedding. So let me explain some things first. I have a friend at school who I will call Sink. Sink is super nice, super sweet, and she has 2 Netherland dwarf bunnies. She got these bunnies a few months ago and she had plans to breed them because I'm not well versed in bunnyology, but from what I've heard, they are very rare and very expensive. So what she plans to do is breed the 2 bunnies and sell the babies. But they had to wait until one of the bunnies was old enough. When they were finally old enough, they were going to start to breed them. But before anything, the first logical step to do was to marry them. Because of course. Now, I don't know if this has to do with the fact that her whole family is a bit silly and goofy in a good way, or if that they're Christian and you have to be married before. But either way, it was oh my god, it was so fun. So I woke up from a nap and I go to help dry dishes and my grandma tells me about this bunny wedding and I just look her dead in the eyes. Yes. So we were going to a bunny wedding. And they were doing the whole 9 yards for this wedding too. Like they were doing a reception, the actual wedding part, they had an officiant, which we'll get to later, and they had like bridesmaids, maid of honor, get to that in a bit. And I needed to bring a wedding gift. Well, I didn't need to bring it, but I wanted to because this is a wedding. So I got them some little bunny treats. So about 2 days before the wedding, I get a text from Sink asking if I want to help set up and be the maid of honor. So I had to say yes. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I'm never gonna go to another bunny wedding in my life. I also need to explain that Sink has 3 siblings, 2 sisters and 1 brother. We'll call her sisters Fish and Car, and we'll call her brother Yoga Mat. I tend to mix up the order in which the sisters are, but I think Fish is the middle child, and Car is the youngest, and then Yoga Mat is the second oldest, with Sink being the oldest. Sink was the mother of bride, and she was primarily planning everything. So the day before the wedding, I go help to set everything up, we plan where everything is gonna be, we plan the order of events, and then the day of the wedding rolls around, and oh my gosh. So we had a plan. The wedding was going to start at 11:15, and then after that, we were going to have the reception, they were going to have their first dance, and then we were just going to eat carrot cake, because of course. So all the guests arrived, there were like 15 people there, and the wedding begins. Out goes the officiant, out goes the best man with the groom, out goes the maid of honor, out goes the flower girls, then out goes the mother of the bride. I should also say that the bride was named Meadow and the groom was named Mountain. So Sink puts Meadow on the aisle, but she wasn't moving, so she just picked her up and put her on these little swings that we made. The best way I can describe it is, you know that one bear from Country Bear Jamboree, and she has like the flower rope and then the swing part? That's what it was, but for both of them. So they're both on the swings. And the officiant started by doing the speech from The Princess Bride. I've never seen The Princess Bride, but I know that it was the marriage. Marriage is what brings us together today. And everyone started dying laughing. So anyways, we do the whole wedding, and this is where Car comes in. So the officiant does his whole speech, and then he says, if there is any reason that these 2 should not be wed, speak now or forever hold your peace. And Car jumps up and screams, I object! Then Sink yells at her to sit down. We had planned this, so it wasn't like the siblings had an argument and didn't want it to happen. We all planned it. Then we pushed their swings together and they looked at each other. They kissed. Then we put them both in a little, like, truck that we got, and we attached a rope to it, and then we pulled them down the aisle, so they were riding away together in the sunset, only it wasn't the sunset, because it was like 11:30 when the wedding part was over. I don't know why I'm still doing this. And the bride and groom had their first dance. Yes, I'm being very serious. They danced to the song Perfect by Ed Sheeran, and it was just, they sat there doing nothing. They kind of moved around a bit, but that was about it. Then we gave them their gifts. The mother of the bride, Sink, opened them on behalf of the bunnies. The poor bunnies were just hot, tired, and confused. So she put them back in their cage, which was just this one big cage now, because they used to be in 2 separate cages. And then after that, we all kind of went off and did our own things. They had a zip line in their backyard, so a bunch of the kids went zip lining. They had a pond, so some kids put their feet in the pond. We pet all their cows and their kitties and their goats and all that fun stuff. And eventually, I go back inside, and Sink tells me that they already started to mate. And apparently, for bunnies, there's no, like, specific time that you have to wait. Like, they don't go into heat. They just mate, then the pregnancy happens. The bunnies are pregnant, and this was like less than an hour after the wedding part of the wedding concluded. And if you don't believe what I'm saying, here are pictures. I would show more, but they have pictures of the people who were in the wedding, and I was told by parents and also the people who were in the wedding to not post them. So this is just pictures of me and the bride and the groom and all that fun stuff. I don't know what I'm doing with my life, but I'm very happy with whatever it is that I'm doing. So that was definitely a video. That was definitely a story. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed going to a bunny wedding. Moral of the story: live fast, have a bunny wedding, die young.